Our job today, in the remaining 7 minutes, is to learn the second bit of this. Oh, hang on. You want me to? Yeah, I know what you're going to do now. You're going to say, "Can you share it? Can you share it on the thing?" Is to learn the second piece of the Netivot Shalom over here. How do I do this without getting a shadow on it? As if this works. Let's see.
Rav, you're also asked to record it.
Oh yeah, someone asked me to record it. 1 second. I'm going to send this to James Heisler, and then I'm going to put it up on the, what's it called? What's your name? James Heisler. James Heisler. There you go. And now, because I'm a super genius and a whiz with technology, I'm so capable that I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do that. None of this can you see, of course, at the moment, but momentarily my miracles will become apparent to everyone. Here it is. And then I can go back into Zoom, and then I can click this video, and I can go to share screen, and then I can go to where that thing is, and then I click share, and now I have powers beyond reason here. Hopefully that's somewhat clear. We're over here. Can you see me moving this around?
Yeah, I can see it. If you zoom in.
We could zoom, Gabe. We're able to zoom.
It's called Zoom. I know. That just happened.
We're able, if you pinch the screen, you could go in and out.
Do you know what I think I can even do? I think I can even, if I'm amazing, I think what I can do is I can even do things like this.
Ooh. Okay.
I have powers beyond reason here. Anyway, ignore me, as I am sure you've learned to do. The healthy snigger of yes, we have came across there. Good. Right, let's get rid of that. Right. All right. Yesterday we spoke about B'dikas Chametz. B'dikas Chametz, as we thought it was before yesterday, meant go around your house with a candle, look like you're looking for ghosts, and in fact you're trying to find pieces of cracker wedged down the back of the couch. Now, ideally you should have already tidied your house before and cleaned your house before B'dikas Chametz. But we said more than that in spiritual terms, and that's what the Netivot Shalom is all about, is what is real chametz? Chametz is that which is fermenting and building and stagnating, which is always the realm of the Yetzer Hara. And therefore, it's all the negative things within us. And therefore, a person has to, before Pesach comes around, search in all the nooks and crannies, all the cracks and everything else to try and find their chametz. Hang on, look at my camera. Isn't that amazing? I've done that. I'm a genius. Yeah, so what does it mean to search for your chametz? It means root out all the negative things that are inside you before Pesach. And we spoke yesterday also more a bit about the idea of Pesach. It says, the Gemara says, Orla Abarasa, when you go into the 14th, meaning the 14th of Nisan, you should be already checking for chametz. And there was expressions of that when you go into your 14th, meaning your 14th year of life, when you become a Jewish adult, when you go into nationhood, then you are supposed to check for all the things that are fermenting inside you. And the same is true of Pesach. When you become a participating Jew, when you become a nation, which is what we became in Egypt, in Mitzrayim, then you need to check for all the negative things inside you. And if you're going to be related to Pesach the way Jewish people do relate to Pesach, which isn't thousands of years ago my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather came out of a country, it's not some kind of commemoration. It's not, so we have a lot of wine and we have a lot of l'chaims. That's not what it is. What is Pesach? Pesach is the idea that Jewish cyclical time works, that the energies always come back on themselves again and again and again and again. We're going to see this in the Gemara in Megillah, please God, at some point, that the Chazal saw that the energies of Purim came around again. They knew to institute it as a Chag. And the same thing at Pesach. Pesach really happens year in, year out. We are now currently in the final stages of being in our own personal Egypt, our own personal Mitzrayim. And we have now got to get rid of all of our chametz, all of the negative aspects of ourselves. So the letter base over here denotes the beginning of the second part of this essay. You have to check chametz l'or haner to the light of a candle. Now, in our spiritual journey, what does that mean over here? Okay, fine, we know when you do b'dikas chametz, you take a candle and a feather and all that stuff. But why? What does it mean over here in spiritual terms for us in our personal avodas Hashem to check for our chametz by the light of a candle? Hu al derech ma'amar kasav. We can explain it according to that which is said in the pasuk, Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam. Right? It says in Tanakh that Hashem's candle is the neshama of a person. The neshama of a person is a candle for Hashem, whatever that means. Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam. As it says in the Sefer Avodas Israel, Haner. What is ner? The letter ner, nun resh, meaning candle. Rashi Tevos. What's Rashi Tevos?
The like first letter of each word.
Right, initial letters. Right, the acronym of ner, apart from meaning candle, is Rashi Tevos neshama, ruach. Right, we have three parts to our soul: nefesh, ruach, neshama. Maybe there's higher parts, chaya, yechida. We have multiple parts of our soul, but neshama and ruach are two very spiritual, higher elements of our soul, as opposed to nefesh, which is the lower element. So ner, although it means a candle, it also means to check for the negativity inside you through the power of your own personal ner, your neshama and your ruach. What does that mean? This is what the Beis Avram, which is often quoted in the Netivot Shalom, on account of the fact it's one of the early Shlomo Rebbes, and the Netivot Shalom is the Rebbe of Shlomo, was the Rebbe of Shlomo. His son now, the Darchino, is the current Shlomo Rebbe. So the Beis Avram, may his merit defend us, said the following thing: Shenishmas Adam tilamdenu. Right? A person's neshama will educate him. What does it mean a person's neshama will educate him? So now we're going to explain it. If some people don't know what their inner negativity is. We spoke yesterday about the idea that a person can be a big tzaddik. They didn't do a single avera their whole lives. They go up to Shemaim, and their Shemaim's like, well done, mate. And he's like, am I going straight in? And they don't know, sorry. So, but I didn't do any averas. Like, yeah, you're not going to get punished. So I'm a big tzaddik, kind of. You just didn't get one small thing done in this world. What? The entire mission that you were sent to earth to do. What? But I didn't do averas. Yes, but you weren't there not to only not do averas. You were there to root out the negativity inside you and deal with it. And you didn't deal with it. But nothing. You didn't do your mission. So the same thing over here. If a person's trying to find where's that negativity inside me, I've looked around. Okay, I found I'm a bit of a scumbag over here. I speak a bit Lashon Hara over there. I shouldn't have embarrassed that person in public. Okay, fine, good. I've done with it. What else is left? If you're having difficulty to kasher, no, the person really doesn't know where they're struggling and what their negative source is inside them. It's completely concealed from a person. If a person really searches, really where their hand could really reach, if you really try very hard to dig deep inside yourself to find those areas of negativity inside you, so you will find it in the end. Through the power of a person's neshama educating them. You have to really be doing this in the most spiritual possible way. If you really spiritually dig deep inside yourself, through your neshama, you will come to that which is negative inside you. Why? Nishmas Yehudi me'ir aloi, a person's neshama, if you're spiritually in tune with yourself, I think that's the English expression. If you're spiritually in tune with yourself, which most of us, certainly the English among us, are not spiritually in tune with ourselves. But if we were spiritually in tune with ourselves, we would be able to get to that deep area of sincerity inside ourselves, where we find that which is the most negative among us. With the Siddur Rabbi Kapil, I'm not sure how many of us know what the Siddur Rabbi Kapil is, me neither, but it's some kind of Siddur, some kind of order of how to conduct your life. It says over there, what does it mean doing B'dikas Chametz to the light of a candle? Hainu al derech ma'amar kasav ki ne mitzvah torah. We can compare this also to another pasuk. We had a pasuk before that said, Ner Hashem nishmas adam. Hashem, a person's neshama is like a candle to Hashem. But here's another pasuk, ki ner mitzvah v'torah or. A mitzvah is compared or considered to be a ner, a candle. V'torah and Torah or is considered to be a fire. Candle is like a thin flame suspended on a wick, and a fire is something that's raging in a much more rampant style. A mitzvah is referred to as a ner, and Torah is a much bigger version of that. It's a big fire. If you check for your chametz, meaning not your physical chametz here, we're talking again about your spiritual chametz, your negative aspects. If you check with a ner, what's a ner? That's mitzvahs and Torah. If you really want to know a strategy of how to get to the inner workings of the negativity inside you, you have to dig into you have to dig into that which the Zohar describes. There's a pasuk in the Torah that says, if a person's sin became known to him, how did a person's sins become known to him? The Zohar says, Man kam moda lei. What? You good?
Sorry.
You seem to have fainted there, James, and the computer flew off your bed. Excellent. There's a pasuk in the Torah that says, "Oh hodai elav chataso." If a person's sin became known to him, the Zohar says, "Man kamodale." Who makes a person's sin known to them? So the Zohar answers, "Oraisa komodale." The Torah itself informs a person of their sins. If a person is connected to the Torah, they can become connected to the negative aspects in themselves. Hainu, that means to say what? Shirak alidei shelamed Torah, koach haTorah modio lo she'einenu misnahek kara'ui. Only a person who's learning Torah and deeply connected to Torah can become aware of the fact that they're not behaving properly. So we said before, what is this strategy? If a person wants to know their inner workings, a person wants to know, where am I really not doing the right thing? And I'm not really aware. I've thought about it. I didn't find it. If you're connected to Torah, the Torah and the mitzvahs by extension are a light, are a fire and a candle that will illuminate the inside of a person. That's what it means to search for chametz by the light of a candle. It means take your Torah and take your mitzvahs. If you're really sincerely connected to Torah mitzvahs, those things will illuminate the path for you to understand what the negative things are inside you that you have to fix. The power of Torah and mitzvahs illuminate for a Jewish person in order for them to be able to know where is the chametz located inside you that you can search and destroy, as it were, the chametz. Whether we're talking about very visible chametz in physical world, a piece of bread on your table. In the spiritual world, you know that you're a scumbag and you know why you're a scumbag. And then there's the less known chametz in the physical world, maybe that smidged up piece of bread that's been yanked down the back of the car seat that no one noticed until it was too late. And in the spiritual world, you don't. How am I supposed to know I'm walking around with a whole bunch of scumminess inside me? So just to summarize our first paragraph here in the second bit of this essay in the Netivot Shalom, a little bit hairy over here, but just to summarize it for us, is saying that the idea is that a person has inside themselves all sorts of areas of negativity. And if you really want to find it, sometimes you won't. Think about it forever, you still won't get to it. You're that guy that went to Gan Eden and says, well, I didn't do enough areas, I'm a Suzik. They're like, you're an idiot. You didn't find your inner negativity. But I looked, I didn't find it. Yeah? You want to find it? You need a candle to find the chametz. What's the candle? Kiner mitzvah, Torah or. Right? Mitzvah is a candle and Torah is a raging fire. You have to resort to fire. Fight fire with fire. You have to connect to your Torah and your mitzvahs. Now that sounds very great. You're like, Rav Meir, what are you talking about? Like, find your Torah and shine it on them. What does that even mean? But I think the idea over here, and I think he's going to talk about it even more in a minute, is being connected to Torah doesn't necessarily just mean, yep, read some Gemara today. And did a mitzvah. I woke up and I'm Ashkenazi, so I went, and that was my davening. Yeah, and I put a black box on my arm and I forgot I was even wearing it. I was actually, daydreaming about golf while I even had the tefillin on me, whatever it is. Yeah, like shkoyach. Doing acts of mitzvahs and saying words of Torah is a very superficial way of being connected to Torah. But the word connected there being the very important element, you really need to be connected somehow to Torah, even if you're not feeling it, but a certain sincerity. Now, it's true to say that discipline and what you guys are doing right now, or all of us are doing right now on Zoom, I think is unbelievable, because most guys back home tend to go on their laptops regularly, not normally to Zoom shiurim. They go and they tune into golf, and they do the highlights of golf, and they interview the caddy, then they have the personal life of the caddy, then they see pictures of the caddy, whatever it is. Okay. Either way, each person to their own. But the fact that people are tuning into learning Torah, that's an unbelievable thing. But it's got to be driven by a deeper desire, at least from the heart. I'm not feeling this now, but I'm learning this in order to be connected to something bigger. If we have a sincere connection to Torah, that's going to shine a light on our chametz, on our negative insides. And therefore, chametz, he carries on, chametz is suruba mashu. Hang on, let me just do this amazing. No, there it is. Left powers beyond reason again. And therefore, chametz is suruba mashu. That is why chametz is. Hang on, in case you're not sure where we are. I can see that some of you aren't sure where we are. Let me just show you where we are. We are.
Rob, it's showing your face instead of the sheet.
Oh.
It's showing the sheet in the corner, but your face in the full screen.
I mean, I have a nice face, but why is it doing that? Is that doing that for you as well, Gabriel?
No, because I'm on a computer.
Ah, maybe you push something on your phone.
Oh, yeah, I did. Okay.
I've resolved your technical problems. I have increased powers beyond reason here. I'm turning into a techno whiz. I believe the young cool kids are calling it now. Anyway, va'alkein, and therefore chametz is b'mashu. Therefore, chametz is also b'mashu, meaning even if a tiny incy wincy crumb. Normally, let's say for example, someone's walking across the kitchen and they're like, my milkshake, and they fall over and a drop of their milkshake falls into their chicken soup. All right, if it's got 60 times more than the milkshake, even though you shouldn't lechatchila pour cream into your steak. But if it happened and there was 60 times more, then it's bittul. There's a concept of bittul and different numbers of bittul, 1 in 60, 1 in 100, but normally there's a concept of bittul. But here, chametz, if a tiny crumb of chametz falls into your charoses, whatever it is, it's not bittul, even in a 1 in 1,000, 1 in a gazillion. It doesn't matter. Okay, and that's why it says chametz isur b'mashu. That's why chametz is even its infinitesimally small amount is still asur, and it doesn't get butter, doesn't get nullified. Ki al derech rikavon haposher rachman islam beguva shel adam. Bit graphic over here, but this is like when a person's body turns putrid. Yeah, gangrene. I'm afraid General has turned gangrenous, boy. Yeah, we're gonna have to take off the whole leg. Yeah. That's what they used to do back in the days. They tie a piece of rope around the leg and they got a saw out and they sawed off the leg. What happened when the guy woke up from his anesthetic? He didn't, because he didn't have anesthetic. So they used to ply him with alcohol. They told him to bite down on a piece of wood, and they held his arms and his leg and they cut off the other one. Not very pretty. But why do they do this barbaric act? Because once rot takes hold of a person's body, it will spread and consume the entire individual. That's the idea of here. She'ein nafkamina b'god lo yishana. It doesn't matter how big the rotting is. It could be a large rotting patch on the bottom of your ankle, and it could be a tiny piece of negligible rot on your elbow. Doesn't matter. Wherever the rot is, you've got to make sure you get rid of it. Mikevan. Because it's going to spread and it's going to end up rotting the whole lot, the whole body. Therefore, also the same thing is true of your spiritual self. Hachametz, your spiritual chametz. Shehu shoresh hara haparev now, which we quoted a pasuk yesterday saying, it is the putrid root of negativity inside you. Ein lo shiur. There's no measure. It could be the tiniest incy wincy smidgen nothing of rot in your spiritual self. It's still going to knock you for 6. It's going to send you. It's going to be the end of you, even in a tiny amount. As the base of Ram of early Stonim Rebbe, as we said before, says in the following pasuk in Dvarim, the Jewish people had a chance to go into Israel, and they failed the test. They sent in spies. The spies came back. They believed the spies, and everyone started crying. And after everyone started crying, Hashem said, right, you cried for no reason. I'm going to give you a day of crying. What day was that, by the way? That Hashem gave us a day of crying? Which day in the Jewish calendar is the day of crying?
Tisha B'Av.
Tisha B'Av, right? The day of the spies coming back and everyone crying. God said, you cried for no reason. This is a perfectly good land, but you want a day for crying? I'll give you a day of crying. And that was the set Tisha B'Av in line for generations to come, including to the present day. After that episode,
was the first Tisha B'Av?
That was the first Tisha B'Av.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you could argue in the Torah there were even earlier things like Tisha B'Av, but that is what Chazal referred to as that's the root of Tisha B'Av somehow exists in the sin of the spies. If we were to analyze the sin of the spies properly and work out what it was, we could do the tshuva on that sin properly and right all of the wrongs of all of the Churban that happened after that. The first base of Mikdash, the second base of Mikdash, I think the First World War and the Second World War were connected to Tisha B'Av. Whatever. Deep things going on over there. But after that episode, there were some Jews that said, you know what, let's do this anyway. Yalla, let's go to Israel. Let's go. And everyone, Moshe's like, what are you doing? You're going to fail. If you haven't got the Aron Kodesh, Hashem doesn't want you to go in now. It's too late. They're like, no, we can do it. We can do it. Good smoke. So some guys all ran in a whole group of people, and they ran up to Israel. And then it turns out that who was waiting for them? Amalek said, all right, mate. And then Amalek gave them a good hiding where from, it says, Seir, Ad Charma, till Charma. So the simple pshat is that they got smitten until a place called Charma. But the base of Ram takes this pasuk to a much deeper place than that. It says Seir, which is normally the territory of Esav. Melashon Seira. Se'ara is a hair, right? Se'ara is a hair. One hair is a se'ara. Seir is the same language, the same idea as the same word as the word se'ar. Why? They got smitten from Seir, which is related to hair, to Charma. Now see what the base of Ram does this pasuk. Hayetzahara ne'echaz ba'adam tchila. Initially, when the Yetzirah takes hold of you, it doesn't go, hey, Gabe, you know what you want to do? Genocide. Yeah, that's not how it works. It doesn't like go in one fell swoop and go for full. It goes, hey, why don't you miss Shachris today? Well, you know what? That guy is always been annoying you. Don't be so nice to him. And then slowly, you build. If you start following down the dark side of the force, you can always end up in a very negative place. So it's called, it started with Seir. The Yetzirah always starts with a small thing, like a hair, a strand of hair. Whether it starts to whip you and smack you into place from that small place, Ad Chorma, which in Torah is a geographical place called Chorma, but here what's he doing with the word Chorma? Chas v'shalom, a person can be left without any survival at all. Chorma is like the word Cherem, presumably. A person is put into Cherem, they are outcast, they are set to complete discommunication from anything else. It starts with Seir, which is connected to the word Se'ar, starts with a hair's breadth, and you end up completely thrown out on a limb. V'hainu, what that means to say what? Shehas Seir hazeh, this Seir, this hair's breadth, hu nekudas haraha ikaris sheresh hara miyuchad l'kol adam. This is this spiritual root that everyone's got inside of this little tiny festering point inside a person. That each person's got their own. You've got your scum, and you've got your scum, and I've got my scum. Everyone's got their own festering point. The only way you can get to really know it, as we said at the beginning of this piece, is to know it through your neshama. If you are sincerely connected to your neshama, which most of us are not, you can shine a light on this negative, festering spiritual rot inside of us. Each person through the neshama can know what that unique nebuchi, scummy rottenness inside them is. And it's from that negative, rotten place that a person can be struck by the Yetzirah from Seir, from this thin hair, from this little bit of rot, to, if you don't get rid of the rot, it can consume you. And it's true spiritually as well as physically. Now into the last bit over here. This is also the explanation of this idea that Ein Biur Chametz Ela Srefa. What's Ein Ela, James?
If there isn't
Ein Ela, Ein Ela.
No, rather no.
Gabe, I forgive you because you're not my share. James, you're fired.
Ein Ela, give me context. Give me context.
Ein Ela is a four-letter word in English, and it's not rude. We say this in my share nearly every single day. Ein is a negative. No. Ella is rather. In English, we have a four-letter non-rude word for this. Only. Yeah. General grunting ensued. Yeah. Good. That's also expression this matter of the idea of you can only destroy chametz with fire. Right? Al pi mat'ita, according to that, which says, I've gone too far. You always have to take things.
No, you can't only destroy chametz with fire. You can only find it with fire.
No, you have to only destroy when after your b'dikas chametz. Right? After b'dikas chametz, what do? You keep the little pieces of bread, and the next morning, what do?
You burn it.
You're allowed. Yeah, but you're allowed to throw it out like b'diavad.
You burn it.
No, but
You have to destroy it.
B'diavad, though, you don't have to.
That's why they had big bonfires in it. That's why they had big bonfires in Israel.
Right, you can tell that James has gone back to America. It's like, yeah, but B'diavad, you could just, throw it away. Like, we don't live B'diavad lives. It says the Gemara, Ein biur chametz ela sreifa. Biur means burning. If you can't burn it, B'diavad, maybe there are other solutions. But
Hey, Rabbi, how do I
Not
get
Ein Ela.
how do I do those public burnings?
Someone asked me that today. I said, maybe someone, you'll start the fire, then he'll move away, and then again, next time he's going to come in, drop his chametz in, move 2 meters. The truth is, I have a bone to pick with Israel and how they do their bonfires, but I can't talk about it now. But they have some major problems with bonfires in Israel. They do them terribly. Anyway, Alpi Madi Ita B'Toras Avos. We can explain this idea of burning your chametz only with fire through that which it says in the Toras Avos, which is a collation of some of the earlier Slonim Rebbe's writings. Mashal echad harotzeh lifnos ya'ar avos me'itzav. It says there mashal. A mashal is a metaphor, right? Or an American metaphor. Yeah, the metaphor. Some guy wanted to clear his forest out of trees. So what did he do? He was chopping down tree after tree, and he's exhausted. He's got a huge forest, and he's still not making much headway. And he sees his days will finish, meaning he'll die. In his own lifetime, he'll never be able to cut down all these trees because it's just tens of thousands of trees. Suddenly, he has a bright idea, or if you pardon the pun, a bright spark. He lit a big fire. The fire consumed all the trees of the forest in one go. Same to here, says the Torah Sava. It's a beautiful idea. You try your best. You go around with a candle, you search your chametz, you think, why am I a scumbag? Oh yes, that one time I spoke Lashon Hara. Okay, you've searched all the scummy areas of yourself to the best of your abilities. And you realize you still haven't even scratched the surface. What do? Ein bir chametz ela sreifa. You have to burn it. Nuke it. If you nuke it, you can be sure you'll get it. What does that mean? In order not to leave any roots of negativity behind you, you have to light a fire. In spiritual terms, everything's been spiritual so far. How do you light a fire spiritually?
With
Torah mitzvahs.
So I knew that James was going to go Torah mitzvahs because that's what rabbis like to say.
what?
But actually,
We already said it though.
right, we said it before, but it's more. Latlik eish kodesh, my shul. Light a fire of sanctity inside you. Kumama Akosov, as it says, eish lefanav telech, usulahit saviv tzarav. Comes from Tehillim, we say it on Shabbos morning, I believe. A fire goes before him, usulahit saviv tzarav, and around him consumes all of his enemies. Right? Hashem sends a fire before him and it consumes all his enemies. Right? As James said, Torah, mitzvos.
So like Indiana Jones from the Lost Ark.
Yes, exactly. Don't look at it, Mary. Yes, exactly. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's actually the music from Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's beautiful. Da, 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 da. Yes, anyway. Only then, if you search for your chametz, can you really go into Pesach in a holy way. I think we should add in one added thing, which he doesn't, he mentions it, Eish Kodesh, which James said, Torah, mitzvahs, get smoked, the kind of things that rabbis like to say. But the truth is, in the Netivot, for example, we mentioned another thing. We had, I don't know if we had it yet, we were supposed to have it. They do Leil Kedusha in Netivot. No, but they used to do something called Leil Kedusha. One night, some of the rabbis came to yeshiva, the holy ones, not me, and they spoke about Kedusha. And they spoke about Kedusha in this generation. So maybe once upon a time, Kedusha was like staying up till 4 in the morning doing tikkun chatzos by the light of the candle and whatever it is. In our generation, it's don't watch porn too much, right? Basically, it's cut your losses. It's basically you're walking down the street and you have a chance. You can kind of gulp for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 8 seconds, no seconds, or look away. Yeah, we're living in a difficult time. We went to Eilat this year. That you were there for. And we were sitting in Eilat, the guys were doing snorkeling. And we sat on the wall by this beach. Now, just over the wall were a bunch of golfers.
Mace, how would you know that?
Well, I know that because I had the misfortune of sitting there, looking over the wall, saying, "Oh, look, the beach!" And my eyes are burning. Yeah. So some guy, one of the Shallom guys, came up to me and said to me, "Rav Meir, like I'm really struggling with my Shmiras Einayim. Like, what can I do to help me?" So I said, "Well, I'm not an expert in Shmiras Einayim, but first of all, you can do what I'm doing. I'm sitting now on the wall with my back to the sea. Yeah, I was sitting this way. He was facing that way, going, Rav Meir, I'm struggling my Shmiras Einayim. Well, don't look at it then. If you sit this way around, you're automatically in a better place than if you say, look at the beautiful view here. What, the Red Sea, among other things, yes. Yeah. So I think that's a beautiful point in our generation, or any generation, but in our generation more than ever. Kedusha is the battlefront of our generation. We don't have a chance to be Kadosh nowadays because we are all so sullied. Once upon a time, when I was younger, any guy that wanted to commit like a guy Avera, I think guys know what guy averas are. A guy avera, a visual guy avera, had to sneak off to a shop, go to where they sold the newspapers, look up to the top shelf, sneak down some kind of publication, put it inside an actual newspaper that they weren't going to read, put it on the counter, and when the guy opened up, and he goes, shh, whatever it is, people had to sneak around for a bit of visual avera. Nowadays, in our generation, you're checking your email innocently, and up on the screen, suddenly goes, hey, anyone feel like a bit of, no, thank you, and you have to kind of X, find the X and whatever it is. Don't push the wrong X because then another box opens up, whatever it is. Yeah. And in our generation, not only you have to actively refuse every type of tumor that can come into your very own phone or laptop or bedroom, whatever it is. Once upon a time, the Gemara talks about a guy to cross 7 rivers and go to Moser Nefesh doing Avera. Nowadays, you have to be Moser Nefesh to check your email. So maybe there's, apart from doing Torah mitzvahs, as James said, Torah mitzvahs, but even more practically in our generation, just trying to inject a little bit of Kedusha into our lives. And who knows, that could bring the light to be the fire that will burn all of our spiritual chametz away. More of that tomorrow. But Rav Meir, it's Thursday. We have a long break on Thursday. We do chesed. We get smacked on Thursday. Yes, we don't. We're not there. We're all locked in our houses.
We're going to see him tomorrow, which means we have to get schmacked.
Oh.
We briefly saw a picture of a large animal, and just behind it was an elephant. Right.
Nice.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Rav. Shkach.
Shkach, everyone.